Live Aqua is ranked one of the top adults only, all inclusive resorts in Cancun, and this one has been on my list for quite a while, and I finally got there. So, in this video, I'm giving you my honest review and letting you know if it actually lives up to the hype. But first, I want to thank Travelingos, which is my travel agency partner that helped me book this resort. And we've been working together for about a year now, and I love it because they are the only agency that actually encourages me to be honest in my videos while still offering my subscribers and followers amazing rates at resorts like this one, Live Aqua. So at the end of the video, I will give you all the details and how to get these rates. Let's get right into it. And if you are new to my channel, I give very detailed, honest reviews. And Live Aqua isn't for everyone. It has its pros and its cons. But by the end of this video, you're going to know if this resort is right for you. But first things first, let's talk about how you get from the airport to Live Aqua. And one of the biggest pros of this resort is its location. It's in the hotel zone, which means it's only around 20 or 30 minutes from the Cancun airport. Let's start with the check-in. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10, and I was impressed with this resort right from the start. As soon as I pulled up, they greeted me, escorted me to the check-in area, which literally only took minutes. So I had booked an Aqua Club level room, and one of the biggest perks, I think, is the separate private check-in that you get in their 5th floor lounge. So not only was the check-in really quick and easy, but it has a full premium bar, some light bites, amazing views, and personalized service. And you get access to the lounge throughout your stay. But at the end of the video, I will tell you whether or not I thought it was actually worth the upgrade. The Aqua Club also includes personalized butler service. Mine were Alex and Maggie, and they meet you in the check-in area and take you to your room. And along the way, they give you a tour and tell you everything you need to know about the resort. Now let's get to the room. And you are not going to believe this room. I was in an Aqua suite, and this one has to be the best in the entire resort. I will be uploading a separate video with a detailed room tour, but just want to highlight some of the features here. So this has 2 bathrooms, an entire living space, even with a wet bar, and it has a huge bathroom that you can section off with curtains and a jetted tub. But the view here is everything. This is ocean front with a huge outdoor space. You can literally just wake up and watch the sunrise right there. I'm telling you, treat yourself to this room. Again, it's called the Aqua Suite. Now, I know everyone wants to know how the food was, but before I get into that, I do want to show you the pools and the beach. The pools are definitely a 9 out of 10. Now, I didn't give them a 10 out of 10 only for one small reason, but I was so impressed that even though Live Aqua is so small, it still has 7 different pools. Now, I love this overhead view because it shows you perfectly all the different pools and how close they are and easy to get from one to the other. So, of course, everyone loves that infinity pool that overlooks the ocean. And then they have a nice long main pool. And then they have some side quieter pools. And yes, they even have a swim-up bar over in the separate pool area called the 90-degree pool, along with 2 hot tubs. In terms of seating, people were definitely getting up early and saving seats. But another huge advantage of the Aqua Club is that you get a free BALI bed every single day, and you can choose whether you want it by the pool or the beach. So you don't have to worry about getting up and saving seats or fighting for chairs. The only downside I could see is if you like a more lively pool scene, it might not be the resort for you because they do have activities like water Zumba and bingo and games and trivia, but it's not really this high energy like DJ music or anything like that. Now let's hit the beach, and this was another amazing experience. Again, I've never been to a resort where you get a free daily BALI bed included with your club level room. You reserve the BALI bed at the outdoor pool concierge with the help of your butler, and they have a map there so you can pick out where you want it to be, and then the next morning you just check in and they will escort you to your spot. With the BALI bed, you get a free 20-minute daily foot massage, which I definitely took advantage of, and personalized food and drink service. Now, if you do not upgrade to the Aqua Club, you can still rent the BALI beds for the day, but they also have regular loungers and day beds with umbrellas. Now, for the beach itself, again, it's located in the hotel zone, which is one of my favorite beaches because it has that white sand, the beautiful blue turquoise water, and it's very walkable. But you are surrounded by other resorts and hotels, so it is a busier section of beach. Another thing to note is about the seaweed. So Cancun tends to have a seaweed issue, they call it sargassum, from about April to August. Now, sometimes the hotel zone can be actually spared of this. So I've been there during the summer when there's no seaweed, and I've been there when there's a lot. So this time there was a lot, but I could still get into the water. There was also a little bit of a drop-off that was made with the surf. Now, this footage is from a time I visited the hotel zone in January. So you can see the beach is beautiful and clean. So the conditions do just depend on the season. Now let's go to the food and the drinks, and I'm giving it a solid 8 out of 10. So there are 9 different restaurants and light bite options at this resort, not including the Aqua Club if you've upgraded, and then all of the food stations that they put around during the day. For breakfast, they had a full main buffet, and then the a la carte option was in Azur, which is kind of an outdoor restaurant by the beach. I didn't get to the a la carte option only because I love the main buffet so much. It is huge. It has everything and anything that you would want. Of course, made to order items like omelets. They even had a smoothie bar. Another standout of this buffet are the hours. It is open from 7 until noon, which I've never seen before at any other resort. And for me, that's a huge positive because sometimes I do enjoy a later breakfast. Sometimes I even miss the breakfast buffet because it closes too early. And if you want more of a grab and go option, they have a cafe that actually has a Starbucks in it. So this was a great spot to get coffee in the morning, but also in the afternoon, I would get iced coffee here. For lunch, the main buffet was not open, which was a little bit of a disappointment because it was summer in Cancun and it's hot. So they didn't have any other indoor options other than room service. They had the Azura restaurant, which is over by the beach, which is open air, and then 2 poolside grills. So what I did was just got some food from the grill and then took it into the AKA lounge, and it was perfect. They also have a beachfront casual seafood spot called Sea Corner, which is where I had lunch the first day. And it's not the type of food that I usually like, so it wasn't my favorite meal, but I do love that they have that beachfront option. And then Verena, their Italian restaurant, is also open for lunch, which is kind of this outdoor covered space right in the middle of the resort. Now for dinner, they had quite a few options, and usually dinner restaurants at all-inclusive resorts never really impress me, but I had one of the best dinner meals I've ever had at an all-inclusive resort here. The restaurant was MB, and I guess it's kind of a famous restaurant because people come to this resort just for the famous habanero soup that this restaurant serves. So I went into this meal with very high expectations, and that always makes me nervous, but they delivered on another level. So people come here for this soup. It's habanero soup, and I can see why. Oh my God. So good. And excuse the dramatics, but I was genuinely excited about this soup. I really don't know how to explain it either. It's very full of flavor, but has a little bit of bite, but definitely lived up to its hype. For dinner, I got the chef's special, which was seafood and steak. And again, it exceeded my expectations. And if you follow me, you know I'm not really a foodie or rave a lot about food, but this meal was definitely memorable. And then the second night, I went to Verena, which was their Italian restaurant. Again, a really good meal. I liked MB a little bit better, but I love the ambience here. And again, the service is just amazing. At the end, he even made me a little dessert art. Now, these were the only 2 dinner options I could get to. So this is where I need you to chime in the comment section if you've been to this resort, some reviews of the other restaurants, because there's so many different options. They have a Mediterranean, a Mexican, a whole other steak restaurant, and a sushi bar. Also, they open up the buffet every Thursday and Saturday with a show. Now let's talk about the bar and cocktail scene here at Live Aqua. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. So they have 5 different bars all around the property. All the bars open at 10 a.m., which is a huge positive, I know, for a lot of people. And what they would consider their lobby bar is actually down on the ground level. It's a little underwhelming, if I'm being honest, in its look and location, but the service there was great, and it was a great spot to stop and get a drink before going outside, or if you did want to watch a sports game, it kind of acted as their sports bar because they had a bunch of TVs on the wall. And then on the lobby level, they have a bar called Egos, which is where all the nightlife takes place, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, but it also opens during the day starting at 10. Now, I usually just drink vodka or tequila, and they didn't have the best selection compared to some other resorts that I've been to on this level, but I was absolutely fine just drinking Absolute, which was one of the selections. And outside, they have that swim up bar I already mentioned, and then also a bar by the pool and a bar right on the beach. But another perk of upgrading to the Aqua Club is that you get access to their 5th floor lounge, which does have a better selection of liquor. So sometimes I would just go up there for a drink, and they even have a little terrace where you can watch the sunset. Stick with me, I'm almost done. If you follow me, you know I give very detailed reviews. And finally, I want to talk about the activities and nightlife, which I'm giving a 7 out of 10. So they do have organized activities going all throughout the day. In fact, I got this really nice sheet from my butler that had all the activities each day, what time, and where they were. I already mentioned the pool activities, but then every single day they had either a cooking or mixology class that were really popular. So for nightlife, they did have something going on every single night. It was just a little bit more subdued. So they had trivia one night, a magic show, karaoke both nights, which is my favorite. And then the DJ does play until 1 a.m., but I think most people at this resort are already in bed, including myself. And they do have a fitness center and a spa. Now for the fitness center, I thought it was in a weird location. It's kind of like like in the middle of the resort, but it is very nice and cool in there, and they did have some nice equipment. Now for the spa, I did not do any services, but they do have a very good reputation and other guests were raving about it. I did do the hydrotherapy, which is complimentary with the Aqua Club upgrade. And this is kind of where you can see it's an older resort. They do have a full water circuit, but it's very small and kind of basic. So for most people, the activities and nightlife are probably a 10 out of 10 because they do offer a variety and basically anything that you would want. My rating is kind of based on two things. One is they don't have water sports, but it's only because it's located in the hotel zone and the ocean conditions are just too rough and really don't allow for it. I also felt like the quality of the entertainment was not as good as I've seen at some other resorts, and the stage and the area where you're watching are very small. And I know some people come to these all-inclusive resorts for these big nightly theater shows. So if that's what you're looking for, this might not be the resort for you. Final thoughts on Live Aqua. I think the official way to pronounce it is Live Aqua, but I'm going to stick with Live Aqua because it feels more alive. One thing I have not spoken about yet is the service at this resort, and it is off the charts. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced at a resort, and that is definitely saying a lot because I've been to a lot of resorts. Another thing I personally loved about this resort is its location. In the heart of the hotel zone, which is one of my favorite locations, very close to the airport. Also did not mention that Isla Shopping Mall is right across the street, which I went to one day if you like to shop. Or even if you're just a person that likes to get off the resort, it's very easy to do so. One night I even jumped on the bus and went to some of the clubs. I personally just love the beaches in the hotel zone, even though the conditions were not that great this time of year. Still, the water is that turquoise blue, the white sand. I personally love the waves. And I've had a hard time finding an adults-only all-inclusive resort in the hotel zone that I really liked. I've been to Sun Palace and LeBlanc and definitely Live Aqua I like better. I have been to Hyatt Ziva too, but that's not truly adults only. I also love the people and the vibe here. It's not pretentious at all. Everyone's very friendly. It was easy to meet and talk to people. So this resort would be perfect, I would say, for like couples celebrating anniversaries, or I know a lot of couples like to travel together, maybe girls groups or friend groups, also solo travelers. I think this would be a great spot. It's very safe. I met a few solo travelers. Digital nomads, if you're someone who works remotely. The Wi-Fi was great, and there's a lot of different areas that you could do work, or you could get one of those suites. I actually did some work right there in my room, and it was perfect. Few small downsides that I saw about this resort. One is, and this is nitpicky, but when I first walk into a resort, I'm very visual, and it felt like a hotel. It didn't feel very luxury to me, kind of like I was in an American hotel, and I felt like that the entire time I was walking around inside. Now, when you go outside, it's a completely different experience. You see the BALI beds and the palm trees and all the little restaurants with the white lights. So it definitely makes up for it. And it's nothing that would prevent me from coming back here. But if someone is looking for that real Mexican, like boho vibe, this is definitely not going to be the resort. If you're looking for something a little bit more lively during the day, like a pool party scene, you're definitely not going to get that here. Or if you're someone who loves those big theater shows, again, this is not going to be the resort for you. Let's talk about the Aqua Club and if I think it's worth upgrading. I definitely think it's worth the upgrade. I've never seen club level amenities like they offer, specifically the BALI bed that you get every single day complimentary with your stay that includes the free foot massage. And definitely the butler service that you get is next level. Mine were Alex and Maggie again, and she would actually meet me at the restaurants at night, just check in with me. They find you where you are. They're always checking in, anything that you need. They're just a what's up chat away. I loved having access to that 5th floor lounge and the spot where you can watch the sunset. You also get discounts, I forgot to mention, at the spa. Of course, the free hydrotherapy that I talked about, you can do that once a day. The only place that they missed the mark in the club level was in the room in the mini bar. So there wasn't really a lot to it. You don't get a bottle of liquor or anything like that. They did bring champagne to the room, but honestly, that was the only thing that I could find. With that being said, you do not need to upgrade at this resort to still have an amazing experience. And I would definitely return to this resort. In fact, it's perfect for a 3 days Tres Noches vacation, especially for me since I'm only a 3 or 4 hour flight from Cancun. It's so close to the airport in the perfect location, and I know I'm gonna get great service and good food. And the best part is, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, my subscribers and followers can also get really good rates here through Travelingos, my travel agency partner. So In the description below is the special link, so make sure you click on that. Just fill out all of your information, and someone from Travelingos will reach out and give you a free quote. And if you have any more questions about this resort or would like to share your experience here, please drop those in the comments section below. I do try to respond to all comments and questions, and I do hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, please like and subscribe and keep following me at 3 Days and Tres Noches, where I bring you those honest resort reviews and travel tips and show you can have an amazing vacation in a really short amount of time. You can also find me on TikTok and Instagram.